Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see in the title, I have labeled it the Beachy Goddess look. So I was kind of inspired because the weather is getting so much nicer here in a sense, but it is getting nicer and I'm obviously super stoked for beach season. This is just to clarify, not meant to be worn on the beach. I mean, you totally could, it's up to you, but I personally don't wear any makeup on the beach, or if I do, it's just very minimal makeup. If you guys really like this look, just keep watching and you get to see how I do it. And if you really like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe at the end of it. And as per usual, my social media links are in the description box below. So if you guys want to know how I get this look, just keep watching and don't forget to subscribe at the very end of it. See ya! So I'm going to start off with my Becca Backlit Primer. So this primer is really good for achieving dewy skin. So I'm not too sure if it makes foundation last longer, but it is really good for making skin looking really moisturized. Also, if y'all are wondering, my eyebrows are definitely filled in with a NYX pomade. I just wanted to get them out of the way before the video to save some time. For my foundation, I'm mixing my NARS Sheer Glow in Santa Fe, my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 220, and I'm going to mix the Caudalie Divine Oil for the first time and mix it in with my foundation just to get the right color and the right consistency. So the oil is what's going to make it look really moisturized and dewy, and the foundation, obviously, Sheer Glow is dewy anyways, and just to get that olive toned color of mine, I'm mixing the Maybelline. And then with a blending sponge, I'm just going to blend this down my neck, which is really, really important. You guys should be blending down your neck and on the rest of my face. So make sure your beauty blender is damp and start blending. It's going to really make it look airbrushed and it's going to make it look really beachy and goddessy. Moving on to concealer, I'm going to go in with my NARS Creamy Concealer in the color Custard. So this color has never done me wrong. Like, I've always used it since I've started using Creamy Concealer, which was a while ago. So I'm just highlighting underneath my eyes, under my brow bone, on my forehead, my nose, Cupid's bow, and my chin. So the typical areas you see a lot of us beauty gurus highlighting. So this is why I kind of said not to wear it on the beach, because it is very heavy on concealer, but it is going to give us that total photo finish look. So I'm just going to blend it on with my beauty blender, and the reason I put it under my eyebrows is because I do have a lot of dark ingrown hairs regardless if I get my eyebrows studded or not. So if you all were wondering, that's probably why. To set that in place, I'm going in with my Laura Mercier setting powder, and this isn't the right one actually. I've had it for a while, but I realized too late that I've gotten the wrong setting powder because, as you can see, it does not bake. So I'm just going to kind of lightly tap it and blend it into my under eye area and my nose because I don't want to get dewy in those areas. I just want to get dewy everywhere else. So this will just help set that part. Next, I'm going in with my Laura Mercier Baked Bronzer, and it's a really beautiful color. I've gotten very used to it and very fond of it, so I'm just going to do an all-over bronze. So it's not a super precise technique. I literally just bronze in the 3 motions, so it's kind of an all-over thing, so it's very blended and it looks very natural, so you kind of get that glowy sort of tan, so it's not much of a contour, I guess, even though it does sculpt the face, so if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I'm applying it to the temples of my forehead, my cheekbones, and my jawline, and just a little bit on my nose as well. So this is what's going to really make you look sun-kissed versus super contoured. So this is my favorite alternative to contouring and doing heavy makeup because this, I feel, contours just enough and it still looks really natural. And before we go off and comment about my baby hairs, how about we just kind of leave them alone? I understand that they're not something that everyone's fond of, but it's on my face and it's something that I've had for a very long time, pretty much forever, so let's just kind of leave them alone. To highlight, I'm going to go in with my ColourPop highlight in the color Wisp. So it's kind of like a goldish sand shade, which is absolutely perfect for summer. It's just going to catch the sunlight so perfectly. So with my Real Techniques brush, I'm just going to tap it / swipe it right above my bronzer and on my cheekbones. And this is really what's going to catch light in photographs, so you want to highlight precisely in all these places that I'll be showing you. So right above my cheekbone, on my nose, and on the bridge of my nose. So just right where it kind of attaches at the top and at the very tip. It's really important that you catch those areas, because when sunlight hits those areas in photographs, it's just absolutely beautiful, and it really catches really good detail. So, and I'm also applying this on my forehead and my chin, as well as my Cupid's bow. So it's just going to catch light in beautiful areas, and it's also just really fun to highlight everywhere. If I could put it all over my face, I totally would. To emphasize that more, I'm going to go in with my Josie Maran illuminating highlight, and it's the cream highlight. And I know this is to mix it within your foundation, but instead I like to use it as an extra bit of a pump to your highlight, like an extra bit of a pizzazz. And because it is kind of thick, I mixed it in with my Caudalie Divine Oil, and then I blended in with my Beauty Blender to just make sure that it's all blended together, looking smooth and not super striking. So I'm just placing this over the ColourPop highlights just to add a little bit more definition and dimension, because I did want it more striking for photographs. So if the ColourPop highlight isn't enough, feel free to do another highlight on top of it. And I'm also putting this in my inner corners, which is really important. For blush, I'm going into my NYX Beach Babe color, and I'm absolutely obsessed with NYX products lately, and this blush has just topped it off so much for me. So I'm applying it just over the bronzer and onto the apples of my cheeks. So you want to be very careful, because these products are super pigmented, which I'm definitely not complaining about. But I'm just kind of sparingly putting it on and layering it as I go, because I don't want to overdo it, and I'm also just slightly blending it with that bronzer brush that I used before. Because we use so many powders on our face, I'm going to go in with my NYX Dewy Setting Spray, and this is what's going to make everything look more of a dewy sort of set. It's really what puts everything together. To prime my eyelids, I'm going to use my Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I'm just going to plop that on my eyelids as per usual before we get started with eyeshadow. Going in with that NYX blush, I'm just going to take it on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to apply it on my eyelids as a base, because it is super bronzy and beautiful, and I thought it'd work perfectly for this look. For the crease color, I'm going to go in with Cashmere Bunny from my Too Faced Naturals Eyes palette, and I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and just apply this to the crease, and I'm bringing it in towards the inner corner of my nose/eye area and bringing it out towards the end of my eyebrow. This is what's going to make it look nice and hollow, like the beach babes wear on the beach. Once that's done, I'm just blending it together with a fluffy brush. And then I'm going to take this color called Earth from my Bobbi Brown Nectar and Nudes palette. It's just a plain matte brown, and I'm going to take it and place it in the crease area, but with a more defined brush. So I'm just making a slight V shape to kind of cat out my eye a bit, if that makes any sense. And it's just going to add a bit more definition and separation from the first two colors. And then I'm going to go up with the color Push Up. It's very faint. It's just to add a little bit of a shimmer to my eyelids, but it blends pretty well with the color that we used before. But I just wanted to add just a tad bit of glimmer so my eyes don't look so closed. Next, I'm just going to take the gold shade out of the palette. You can use any gold shade that you have, and I'm just going to place it with a fluffy brush in my inner corner. So instead of using somewhat of a light white shimmer, I'm going in with gold. This is what adds kind of the goddess touch to it, and it's really what puts it all together. So the inner corners are very important, and then I'm just going to apply the same shade underneath my brow bone. So I noticed that gold is so much nicer when you've kind of tanned or want that nice goddess touch instead of a white, so I would try definitely doing that instead. And I'm just going to take Cashmere Bunny and place it on my lower lash line just to finish off the eyeshadow. I'm now going to tightline with my Marc Jacobs eyeliner in black, and again just tightlining my upper lash line because we are not wearing eyeliner in this tutorial. And I'm also just going to go in and curl my lashes before I apply my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. It's the waterproof one in Black is Black. This has done wonders to my lashes. As much as I loved the L'Oreal Miss Manga, this is the next best one, especially if you're looking for waterproof. This does not come off. It is very difficult to get it off. So I removed my previous lip balm to clean off my lips, and I'm reapplying it and then placing my NYX retractable pencil in, I believe it's nude, and this color is just kind of skin tone. It's very neutral because it is supposed to be a beachy look, so you can definitely do whatever you like, but I prefer to just go nude with this tutorial. And then I'm also applying that ColourPop highlight in the middle of my lips just to top it off and make it look all goddessy. And that's the finished look, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you really liked this tutorial, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and also don't forget to follow me on my social media. The links are in the description box below. Bye!